tripod thing, you guys. I like it a lot. Hey, let me do this thing. I don't know. I don't want to turn this on because if I turn this on, it does the, hey, Karen. How are you? Karen was making pizza, right, Karen? Or you were getting it or something. That made me like want pizza. So I have found Sawyer is so picky about the food that he eats. Like super, super picky. And it doesn't matter how much it is or how cheap it is or whatever. He's super picky, but I found something that he'll eat pretty much every time. And it's this, the Royal Canin for Shih Tzus. And look, it's an ingenious marketing idea to make a line of dog food that's like breed specific because people eat that shit up. You know what I mean? No pun intended, but it's because everybody wants what's best for their pet. So they think if it has their breed on it, then it's like, you know, going to be tailored just for them. And it is, but this one happens to be something he likes. So they have Chihuahua, Poodle, Yorkshire Terrier, pretty much anything. I think it's mainly small dogs, but they have it all. And then it's a lot, but I mean, it's like $6 for 4 cans or something. And that's a lot, right? $6 for 4 cans? Yeah. And I think that's a lot, but I only give them like 1 a day. And then I mix it with this like plant-based stuff. What is that stuff, Sean? It's like crumbles. Hey, Mayor's daughter, it's good to, isn't an orange. Mayor's daughter's grandbaby is in an orange belt. That is so cool. That is awesome. Congrats, and congrats to him. That's awesome. So anyway, right, Sean? Sean's like, whatever. But Sawyer won't eat if he doesn't like it. Mayor's daughter, I was using the other day the soap, the exfoliating soap. It was the sandalwood one, I think. I loved it. I've like slowly used them, so we haven't run out. We still have another one left, but the sandalwood one was very, very nice.
What up, sis?
Thank you for that.
Congrats on the grandbaby getting the
Look, he's all like, I'm
the
not
orange belt. I'm trying not to hit it. Try not to hit it.
It's okay. I just always remember that I forget to move it forward, but that's okay.
Let me
That's
see.
cool. So what's next? The orange belt, and then what?
It's blue, isn't it?
Is it blue next? How many levels are there?
Oh, I don't know. Depends on what discipline.
Really?
Yeah. I know that black belt, and then there's different levels of black
Well, in
belt.
September. Okay.
And then there's like before black is brown.
Okay. He
And
says
then
in September.
purple.
She said
Purple.
he'll have his purple belt in September. He does mixed martial arts. That is so cool.
That is good.
Super impressed with that.
Oh, I got to get out of my troll account here.
It looks like this might have straightened itself out. Oh, look at this. So Stitching says that her husband is a 4th degree in Wodokai.
Let me see. I'll have to look at it.
That sounds very impressive. I have no idea what that is, which probably means it's super, super cool. It's a good thing for kids to learn, right? Because they know how to defend themselves, but they don't, like, you're supposed to only use it if you have to, right?
But it's a discipline. Like it's good training too.
Right. I heard jiu-jitsu is really hard. It's a type of karate. My cousin Albin is an MMA fighter. Oh my gosh. Sean laughs when we watch that because it was like the first time I said, they just beat the snot out of each other.
Especially the women.
The women are vicious.
Fighters they like trash each other.
That one, I'm surprised the girl's eyeball didn't come out.
I know.
And you're not supposed to go for their eyes, right?
I like Amanda Nunez. Yeah, you're right. You're not supposed to.
It's crazy. Oh, it's starting to already get held up. But that's okay.
Oh, that's just whenever somebody puts something in the chat that has to be reviewed.
I know, but I'm thinking, hey, Khaki. I'm thinking that Khaki keeps me laughing on Twitter.
She does.
Yeah, she's like...
It's another one that gives no fucks, man.
She's like, this freaking tornado grift. She was like sounding off on it.
Somebody I think
Angela said I'm trash. What kind of trash?
So here's the deal with that tornado thing, and then somebody left a comment last night on saying that grift was no different than, like, the tornado thing was no different than us getting money to go to Colorado. That it was no different. I'm going to say why it is. When you're a content creator, I mean, you look at Savage and Joe. They're going to renew their vows, and they said if anyone would like to contribute to us going to Las Vegas, we're going to. And she gives content, and people watch it, and they have memberships, and people. We don't have memberships. It's not the same as using the GoFundMe engine, going to a GoFundMe site and making a GoFundMe and using their assets to ask for money that you don't need.
Yeah.
It's totally different. So when they said it's no different, it's totally different.
See, his answer is so much more.
I mean, Mandy's all mad. You know, she'll get mad. Like,
I mean, I wasn't mad, but I was like, okay. Well, they said I'm waiting, or I'll wait, and I was like, okay. Well, thanks for waiting.
That's the difference. Is that so? If you think that putting up a picture of your neighbor's house damaged and saying that, you know, you need $500 because you're going to lose $300 worth of food. I need more than this. That's way different than being a content creator and going live and doing things and people super chat you or they send you a PayPal for something.
And someone was asking me earlier, why is it that Owl, you know, supports this, which is an obvious, you know, falsity or whatever, and why? And I said, very simple, because she hates me and you and Paula.
Right.
She would support this devil
I know
himself.
Mayor's daughter said, anyway, have to run, have a good night.
Sorry.
She's not here for the drama.
I know, we got that. Thank you though for stopping by, and thank you again for the soap. We really did.
Yeah, we do.
We did enjoy it.
I know you don't like the drama. If you come back in like 15 minutes, we'll be done with it. But anyway, we had to get that out because there are people that, whether or not we give content or we just live our lives off the internet, they're still going to talk about us. But it is completely, yeah. I mean, it is different. I think that if you did a poll and you said, is a GoFundMe, you know, going onto a GoFundMe site and asking for money for a tornado that hundreds of thousands of people were in, is it the same as doing content and people donating to a vacation? Is it? It's not. It's completely different.
They said because y'all didn't plan correctly. When we started,
no, we pulled it off.
But when we started accepting like donations and tips and stuff, we already had our tickets.
Right.
We already had everything.
Right.
So
I mean, I guess you're right. If we asked for and if we rattled off the expenses for plane tickets, hotel, 5 days worth of activities, and everything of that, it is considerably more.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it is. To me, it's just apples and oranges. But
it's a person that. Anyway, they used the troll account and didn't think they were in their troll account.
Exactly. It wasn't her house. End of story.
Right.
It's a grift. Yes.
But the comment was that her grift is no different than when all YouTubers ask for things for. I mean,
this one was specifically.
It was specific, but Savage asked, said people can contribute to her trip. Everybody does, and it's not the same as going on a GoFundMe relief charity site and asking for money for a tragedy.
Does it have and this is just a side point, does GoFundMe, is it reserved? Hey, Gigi Marie, do you have to qualify as some sort of medical need? Like when people joke around and say, like Katie said she wants booby money. Are you allowed to do a GoFundMe?
You can do whatever you want. So
one did it for a bottle of Hennessy one time, but they took it down.
And they did take it down.
He got tons of money though.
But you see, so now if we had turned around and went on GoFundMe and said, we're going to Colorado, will you give us money for that, to a GoFundMe site?
Yeah.
That's completely different than people that tune into our show that want to contribute.
Exactly, Karen. It says, it's totally different.
It's totally different.
We wanted to contribute, and it's something we wanted to do regardless of your other expenses. We live and appreciate you as content. Thank you.
That's the difference.
When they made a comment like, you got your hair and your nails done.
She gets her hair and nails done all the time.
I get them done anyway.
This person, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. The person that posted that doesn't have a significant other that works 50 hours a week to take care of them. I'm guessing.
Well, Well, it's Angela.
Well, yeah.
Or Morgan, one or the other.
And well, if it's Angela, she's put right on her GoFundMe, I don't get child support.
Paula.
Don't even put that in your GoFundMe that you don't get child support.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
We covered that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the last piece about it, when everybody kind of reminded me of all of the things that she's come up with, needing money, car repairs, back to school clothes. Didn't she for Christmas gifts for her kid or something? I don't know. I'm not going to say that because I don't know that for sure. But definitely for car repairs, for back to school clothes, for different things like that. Once you've done it a considerable number of time, and it's always the same. I'm humiliated to ask for help, but well, you can only use that so many times before, and try, if we had a thing where it ripped a hole, well, we rent, so it would be different. He'd have to fix it. But but she didn't e-bag for the fireworks. What she did was
e-bagged for other stuff.
She got money for her car repairs.
Right. And then turned around and bragged about going out and buying fire. And the thing about that is, you can put your life on blast. We do it. We got criticism.
Thank you, Paula.
When we were building this channel, we said we're going to put our life out there. And if you do that, you're going to get criticized. You're just gonna.
It happens.
And especially in the drama community, it doesn't matter what side you're on or who you like, or there's going to be other people that are going to come after you. And if you take offense to that, oh well. Yeah. I mean, it's going to happen. If
you participate in fucked up shit, stuff will happen. And that's not even to say that, like, we all don't do it. But it's like, if you get down and dirty, so to speak, or do the drama, you're opening yourself up. But then everything gets done to you. And once everything's been done to you, real, friendships on here fall out and they play out for everyone to see. And, it's after a while, you're just like, there's not a whole lot that hasn't been done.
People, once you've had it all done to you, like Mandi said, we become kind of boring because there's nothing that anybody can do, to really get to us. We went through it in the earlier part of this year and we stood up to it, and we,
doesn't even mean it's over.
It doesn't mean it's over, but
I can't make this work.
Let me see.
It's frozen.
I'll get it.
You see it's frozen? So today, because I'm a redneck engineer, on the second coop, it's been raining like completely nonstop for what?
About 3 or 4 days.
So I put a tarp around the front part because when it's driving rain, it gets into it. They're still covered, and they won't go up into the top part of it. So I did that, and I'm like, zip ties and tarps. Is there anything else in life that you need other than zip ties and tarps and duct tape? But I didn't need any duct tape for it. And I found out we have blackberries growing. Karen, we have blackberries growing wild, stitching. We have them growing on the other side of the other lot. Apparently there's blackberries that grow in the, whatever they grow on, bushes, the ground. What is it? The ground?
I think they're bushes. Vines? No, blackberries grow on bushes, and they've got like little thorns on them and stuff.
Someone was collecting them because they said they were going to make a blackberry pie, and I was like, oh, it's okay. And she was like, we're on an adventure, and I was like, I didn't know there was blackberries over there.
Someone was snooping around in our yard. She thought that, and around the chickens, kind of like, and where they kind of are.
But I didn't even
didn't know
I didn't see her until I walked out. And then Sawyer, I'm like, well, Sawyer's gonna run up to you, and I was like, in this I can't say anything. Like, he ran up to him and barked. He just wants to be pet. But on this I couldn't, get mad at him or anything because they were literally like here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I was like, but now that has me wanting to go see if they're good blackberries. Not that I like blackberries.
I trudge around in there a little bit.
Blackberry salad?
I trudge around out there, and I haven't seen them. You'll have to show me exactly where they are.
There used to be wild strawberries that grew, but once the chicken coop, we started walking all over it. But there were wild strawberries. I think they ate any of them that came up.
They probably did.
They ate them because that's what they do.
We've got quite a community out there right now.
Yeah.
There's been a couple people that have inquired about our little ones, because we're not keeping them all. We're gonna raise some up and then give some away and trying to figure out how we're going to do it. You know?
Yeah, there's, like I was saying yesterday, there's quite a few people who don't want them in the baby stage.
Right.
They want them, you know, bigger so that they don't have to worry about quite so many things picking them off, but not so big that they've already been laying for a long time or whatever.
Like if we had the space to raise them up till they're, you know, till they were 4 or 5 months old and laying, you get $25 a piece for them then.
Really?
$20 a piece.
Because they make it through the
Yeah, and they're producing. I mean, that you get the food. Say somebody says I want 6 chickens, you know, and they're all layers. They're all laying. You could get $50 to $100 for them, depending on, you know.
Is the one that's taking the silver rooster? Is he back?
He's gonna be gone all week.
Okay. I like the silver. He's like a road runner when he runs.
I know. And then the ones, the little half Brahmas, it's good. I mean, I'll pick out a couple of those for sure that to keep.
Yeah,
and
I
then,
pretty much know which ones we don't want to get rid of. But it's been interesting because in the beginning we kind of felt overwhelmed and we were like, just anybody, like not anybody, but we wanted them to find homes like immediately. And then we kind of, Sean has a head count and kind of knows what they all look like.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
for the most part, you know what they look like.
When you put an ad out for, you'll get people that'll just answer your ad and say, I'll take them all. And it's kind of like, if we're giving these away and we're not selling them, I don't want somebody just to come take them all.
And it sounds weird when you, because you're like,
how many do you have? Well, we give them a number to go, I'll come
or
take
I'll
them.
say, well, how many are you looking to get? And they'll go, how many do you have? I'm like, no.
How many do you want?
Approximately how many? But it's also because Americanas and
Rhode Island Red
are very good egg producers.
Good.
Yeah. Americanas aren't so very pretty.
No, they're not. They're not good looking chickens, but they will give you big egg.
I think that the Foodie Beauty's there.
What do you mean she's there?
No, I was just looking. She's live. I always get. I think it's so interesting that she gets a third as many views as the person reviewing her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how does that? And I guess it could happen with anybody, but they'll have like 4,000 people watching French Fried Girl.
I know.
And Foodie Beauty won't have like nearly that many.
Well, French Fried Girl has been doing it for a while, and she's got a catchy name. I mean, it's really, you're not going to have a whole lot of people in the drama community.
Thank you, Callie.
Reach 20,000 subs. It'll be extremely hard if you came out of a drama community to even get 10,000. Yeah. It's not something that people flock to watch. And you kind of build up the people that want to watch you. You've got 1 or 2 channels that have been consistently doing the same thing. And, it's just, they're kind of haven't grown in the last couple of years. Now, people will do different collaborations and different channels together. But people are kind of, I mean, they've heard the history. They know the history. You have a couple channels out there that try to go back and reminisce and try to tell you what the history is, but we already know what it is. So it's,
if I can remember. Sometimes I can't remember stuff. Like, and it's funny because I'm like, when? And they'll tell me, I go, oh, I think I do. Yeah. Most of the time it's just because I don't give a shit.
But there's certain events that, like new people will come in and go, what was this event? And a platform will give an explanation of the event, and it's like, that's not what happened. But it is what it is.
It's people can they'll represent what happened, and I think everyone to a certain extent probably does that, but some people completely change the story. But with new people, I guess it's a matter of who they believe.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Everybody that's like been in the community for a few years knows what happened, and it's. You see the people that played a role in certain events and they try to minimize or, kind of redirect what their role was in the event. And it's like,
yeah, okay. I think Chantel's boring too, Stitchy. Who else tagged us in some paragraphs?
Oh yeah.
That I didn't bother to look at.
She, Mandi doesn't really look at this stuff because if she does, she,
especially
she wants to come on and drag somebody.
If you do an entire monologue, I'm never ever gonna read all.
If somebody the ass hat dude.
Yeah.
He's got the girlfriend. I thought was the boyfriend, but it's the girlfriend. Sorry,
I didn't
we didn't
realize
know.
it
They
was.
kind of look very manly. But the name is, anyway, she did not appreciate, I just get tagged. We get tagged. And it's on her community page. And what's her name? Emma or something like that. Anyway, she said that
it
she was
Emily or
mad
Emma?
that Mandy mentioned last night in
Emma.
our stream that Asshat was supposed to do a stream about Mandy. And she wanted us to know. She was very upset and said, no, that stream was about Paula, not her. Well, then you need to get back to the people that are telling folks that he's doing a stream because they're saying it's about Mandy.
That was where I got it.
That's what they're saying. So Mandy was like, where's my stream? Always relevant over here.
But why would she get so triggered by it?
I don't know. She talked about, like, she was saying, oh, and I saw your numbers in your chat and all that. It's like, I looked at her
cares?
channels. I was like, but this person
Enema.
doesn't. Yeah, she does a lot of videos and doesn't get anybody to watch hers, but she's critical of us. It was just an odd thing. It was an odd thing. But, you look at it and you kind of, you got to take it out with a grain of salt. People try to get at bigger channels to get them to react so that they can grow. So
yeah, I just when people tag me, Gigi says that there's tornado sirens are going off.
right now,
she's gonna get everything ready. Say a prayer. Yes.
Where's she at?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, she might not.
It's just been nasty all over the country, man.
It's been really bad weather. You know what I mean? See, it's so it'll like. That's why I put the. Oh, and so also, William Palmer reiterated that I'm trash and said total trash. Palmer.
Palmer.
I thought you were like.
Come on, if anybody comes after you, you. Whoo,
I know. I thought it was funny that it was kind of a clever screenshot. I was like, well, if you have to be talked about,
that's right.
Make it good. But I do think when they said about, why would, when the person made the observation, like, hey, Melinda, why would they, support Angela when she's obviously being dishonest? And like I said, it's because it doesn't, if there's someone that routinely talks shit about me and you and Paula or whoever, she doesn't care who it is.
Someone slipped
she
into
knows
my...
that she doesn't tell the truth about anything.
And
Al knows
other
that
people
she's
know
not
that.
full. Yeah.
Al gave her $5 and that was a clear, like...
She can spit it however she wants, but that was a clear message. Like,
right. Yeah, that it's not gonna work. But I mean, again, the drama community, you've got, if you're gonna get talked about. And really, you have to look at it like, the more you're being talked about, the more relevant you are. It's just, it's not like we're on the 5 o'clock news and they're talking about some event in our real life.
So, Khaki says that Hat Boy and Enema had a wedding band GoFundMe. Oh, prices of gold must be high.
But a wedding band, I thought you meant like a band like mariachi or something.
Maybe, I don't know. I thought it was those. Yeah, that's exactly. It's like I've always said, like, I mean, someone could clip this and play all of them together when I say I really don't pay attention. But what happens is it makes Sean feel relevant.
It does.
And if you want, hey, thank you, Jocelyn. You're so sweet. Thank you. Speaking of, Fronto is like, didn't you have to go look for her yesterday?
Yeah, I thought Fronto.
We knew she was around, but that badass
she's
bitch,
getting big.
She'll cruise along by herself. She don't care. Yeah. She does not care. It's really cool. Jocelyn's doing it. Thank you, Jocelyn. But yeah, it's like if anybody that starts, if our names coming up in streams that we're not even watching or whatever, the relevant word comes into play.
It's the R word. It really is.
And that is really, really, if you don't like Sean, then if you make him relevant, then
because I sometimes I get, you guys the history, we did the channel, it was good, people, and then we shut it down. It's hard. Mandy has said she didn't realize how many people were watching us for a while, and this and that, and it's not easy to niche yourself and just get people to watch you all the time. Yeah. I think Shannon says it. It's getting people to come back again and again.
Yeah.
It's not, so a lot of times, because we like being here and we're doing this and we're doing that. And oh, thank you, Margaret.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I bet it could have been to make a point.
It could have been,
but we appreciate it.
Thank
Wasn't.
you.
I think it was just being sweet. Thank you very much.
It's hard to
Right?
because when you've been doing this for a few years and this and that, and people watch your videos and people watch Tomahawk Sean and this and that. When you stop doing it, I truly believe when you stop doing it, you're doing
Hey,
things.
Annalie, how are you? It's good to see you.
I think that's when your life and I'm trying because we have friends that are here and it's cool. That's why we stay. But when I started in the relationship with Mandi, I stopped doing vlogs on Tomahawk Sean. I just stopped doing them.
Yeah.
And I stopped doing vlogs when I was getting 2,000 to 3,000 people watching each vlog. I just stopped. I just didn't feel like the material that I was doing was respectful to Mandi. I just didn't. So I stopped, and then we did our channel, and it did really well. And we would get the views we were getting. You could go back and look at the history. We'd get 4,000 or 5,000 views for some of the stuff we were doing.
Yeah.
And it just life got busy, and then I would find myself get a little like stab of anxiety, like I'm not doing YouTube anymore, and I'm not there as much, and this and that. But people keep talking about us. It's just people keep bringing us up, and that's really all that. I mean, that takes care of that need. They're still talking about us. So
yeah, always. Annalie, she says that she's here. She's just been really busy. Prayers for Oklahoma. Thank you. Definitely. I saw Gigi Marie say yesterday in the Beast chat. I mean, she like totally had her back, and she was saying like, when the statement is made that all of us do, me, you, Paula, all we do is talk about the Beast. And Gigi Marie said they were gone for a year,
a whole year.
You still kept over and over and over again, and then they blocked her because nobody wanted to hear that. But I was like,
but I've also heard someone slipped into
Hey,
me and goes,
how are you?
They'll say something like, stop by the Beast chat. And I'm like, I really don't care. Mandi will tell you, people that know me and know our friends know, I don't set my eyes in it at all. I don't. Mm-hmm. But I know because what I get told, and they said, really, her chat is reduced to the people that just hate you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, there you go.
Yeah, there's no one in there that, and no one in there that can 100% support the things that she does.
Right. They're just in there because they hate me or you.
Mm-hmm. Or Paula.
There's not, yeah.
We have a couple people that have stopped back by that we haven't seen in a while.
I know,
Annalie,
cool.
our cats love the little spinny debug thing. It's so cool. Like, I don't think that Scout even understands what it is. Yeah. He doesn't. Poor thing. He looks at it.
A couple nights ago, about a week ago now, we did a stream that it was pixelated and only lasted about 7 minutes. You can go look at Morgan's Twitter. She liked the fact that, it was on her Twitter that there were 7 people watching after we shut it down, because it was all pixelated. During that stream, I had showed a very nice gift, and since it was pixelated, and since we weren't on there, and since people might not have seen it, I want to show it again.
Okay.
Is that cool?
You sure can. If you turn the light on the fireplace, I can take the camera over there. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, Dee. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. All of that helps us with the chickens. So I can be redneck engineer and put tarps up. Yeah, but the thing is, Montana.
Yeah.
So I was like, what are you asking? Montana's, he only knows the real name. He doesn't
Not
know.
Moxie.
And it's not Moxie. This is, thank you. Y'all support means everything. This
came from Montana, and she's got a brother that does woodworking. And this came in the mail. It was very surprising because we hadn't been on. Mm-mm. We hadn't been doing any content.
She has so much respect for you.
And I was going into work, and our carrier was like, look, I have a package for you. It would be easier if I just gave it to you here in work instead of going by your house. And I was like, yeah. So I opened it, and it's from Montana, and her brother did this woodworking. I'm going to try to and it says U.S. Army. It says Captain Curly.
Isn't that awesome?
And I showed this the other night, but the stream was horrible. It's amazing, and we're talking about, still being here and still being on YouTube and still doing stuff. That's why, because we have people that want us to be here and keep being here, and that is an incredible gift.
It looks good on the hearth.
It's gonna go over there
Here's
somewhere.
The thing. They're talking about Robin said she was in a 4-car accident or whatever.
I thought you said she was in 4 accidents.
But here's the thing. I think she responded to herself.
Oh yeah, like she thought she was trying to answer her own tweet with a troll account, but she stayed in.
Like.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
That's pretty bad.
I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. But everybody in there is saying probably what actually happened. She's a disturbed individual too. Everybody says that it's beautiful. I love how woods. Yes, we were talking about what sometimes if dudes are grouchy for whatever reason, the different stores that were. She put it in the community tab. I don't remember that. Did she really?
But she did it thinking that she was under a different name, right?
I crossed over. Okay, we're talking about Robin. She said she put a picture of your sign in her community. I got it. Robin's thing. Okay.
Usually that's me that gets stuff confused.
No, but they're saying, I know, but they're saying that that whole conversation with herself. Am I right though? Was it a conversation with herself, right?
But she thought she was doing it to
that's what it
people.
looks like to me. I live right next door to a woodwork shop. It always smells so good, especially when he burns wood. Our neighbor down the street does it.
He burned. He was, like when you harden your wood on the when you harden the wood on your porch, you build a porch into, then they put the flame on the wood and it kind of hardens it up.
Yeah, and it makes it look...
And it smells good. It does smell good.
Yeah. That was anybody who ever asked me, if they know anyone who does deck repair or deck, I'm like, I know someone who's amazing at it. Who's on, right? Annalie sent us what was the other thing? I'm trying to remember because I know it's something that we still use. She'll probably remember. The cat...
Wasn't it the cat thing that went?
The cat thing and something else. She'll remind what it is. I saw her name and I was like, I wanted to tell her that we use that too. Got bug bites.
I know. When it rains.
Pot holders, yes.
That's it.
Those are hanging. Literally, I still have it on it's the one with the towel and the pot. All of that. It's all still together on the kitchen wall. Yeah. That's it. Thank you.
That's it, guys. I mean, no memberships. We haven't done things like that, but I mean, you guys are good to us.
And I think
you really are.
And the biggest thing is that right now we're talking about absolutely nothing about, and we've got 31 people watching us. Right. And there's probably some watching so that they can do whatever, but for the most part, there's people that never say anything that will pop in the DM and be like, hey, I don't ever talk, but I just, and they will have been watching for years. And
most of the support that we get from 30 to 50 people is the same as a YouTuber in our genre that gets 200 or 300 people in there. It's very much the same like that.
That's the newsletter.
Yeah, but I can't see it.
Well, it's the newsletter for Altruisa's newsletter.
Oh,
yeah.
Don't say it too loud, did we?
They are.
But we're gonna hang out.
And it's amazing that people watch us talk about nothing, and that they're genuinely happy. I haven't heard, Presley, if you're watching, I've been trying to check in with her. I haven't heard from her, and I want to know that she's okay. Pure and simple. It's unusual not to see her poke her head in while she's at work, and I know, but and normally when I reach out to her, she tells me, if there's anything going on health-wise with either one of them. So hopefully she'll reach out because I get worried. I get worried about everybody. It's odd. That is a friend to me.
Like when Joss isn't in the stream, we hope to hear from Joss. We hope to hear from her.
Yep.
We have. We know stuff that's going on with her, and she's our friend.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. She's hilarious.
So
too.
every once in a while, Josh, you
got
just got to give
my
us
sense of humor.
You just got to do it.
I always
let us
say
know.
it's like I have Sean. When I met him, I was like, I finally found someone who has the weirdest sense of humor like me. And we sat there and laughed. Well, that's not all we did, but we sat and laughed. Stitching's got the fires up in Canada near her.
Ooh.
And she says the smoke is bad tonight. What do they have y'all do? Just stay inside? Or do they have you put like a mask? Like, do they?
Is it?
Can you do an N95 mask?
It's in Canada, like north of us, or
I think
north
it's the
of
East Coast north.
Okay.
I believe that's where it is.
What a crazy summer.
It is. It's been, and it's so weird. I mean, unless I'm wrong, I've never heard of Canada having a problem with fires like the United States.
Well, it's a lot of forest up there, and if it's dry, like right now, it's super wet.
Yeah.
But up there, it may not be wet. I mean, I remember like sometimes in North Carolina, or remember out in Kansas, we were both living in Fort Riley, where they say, you can't build campfires, or you can't, because it's so dry that,
one little
gust of wind, and it's
That's
it's
crazy.
Gonna start it up.
Fires everywhere.
Most of that, I mean, you see it a lot in like California.
Yeah.
I
know
up and down
some
the West
people
Coast.
Get into their swimming pool when it's passing over.
But I also know that it'll
one.
heat your water. It'll heat the pool up too.
Oh,
pretty bad.
Like once it's sitting over it or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I saw it on I Survived.
They
Remember that
went
show?
in the swimming pool?
When it was, they rescued them from the swimming pool.
Wow.
Because I guess that part itself, obviously the water itself wasn't on fire, but it was all the way around them. Isn't that strange?
That's the type of rescue that, you see and you don't, it's just people living their lives. It's unlike the submarine thing going on.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep up with that. And I thought when Scout's going to make sure that Eleanor didn't get in there. I thought when they said that it was controlled by a video game remote and he put it together with things from Home Depot, I thought that had to be a joke.
I heard it at work too.
But they're saying that it's not, that doesn't control the vessel. That controls the camera that people want to see.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
But like the dude,
it's so small in there.
Someone was saying that there's 5 people.
And it was supposed to be 2 hours to get down, 2 hours to look.
8 to 10 total.
And then 2 hours to go back up.
Yeah, something like that. And it's not the first one they've done. This is like the 8th time or something.
I thought this company bought like a retired Navy sub.
No, this guy built it. And someone that at work brought up a good point. This was somebody, like a customer that came in, and they were like, the thing about these are, no matter what kind of submarine it is, when you go to those types of depths, every time you go down, it ruins it a little bit.
Does it?
The pressure, so you can't keep taking the same vessel down, because every time it goes down there, little bit more damage every time. So sooner or later, it was going to implode. Sooner or later, it was going to happen.
And they just pushed it to them.
You got to freaking use those things a certain amount of times, and you got to make new ones.
Yeah.
Because it's the metal and the rivets and everything they do to seal, everything is bad. You can't really
when they showed
it.
The inside of it, there's literally only
it's
4
like
seats.
It's like from here to that National Geographic, and they could put 5 people in it, and he was charging $200,000 a piece.
$250,000.
So $1 million.
And one took his son and him.
One of those billionaires did.
Like I said, I think that I'm not big into spirits and things like that, but I think if there was a place that was like, quit disturbing us, we don't want the light on us.
Like Bermuda or whatever.
Well, no, but I mean, like, they go down and it's actually gradually going. It's in 10 years or 20 years, they said it's going to completely dissolve into the ocean floor. It's
like the Titanic.
Any remnants that are left. And they said that they need to stop going down there and disturbing it, or it'll go faster. But beyond that, like I said, there, a shipman's folklore is that you don't, that is a tomb.
That's Davy Jones' locker
Right.
down there. That's what it is when you say.
Right.
What
And
year
you
was
don't
the
go
Titanic?
down and look at it.
You know that. What year was Titanic?
1913?
So over 100 years now.
Yeah, 1913, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
It's hard for anything to last in salt water over 100 years.
Yes.
It's hard. I mean, it's not like it going down in a lake.
I'm Stitching, I'm still watching what you're saying. She's saying that smoke hasn't been bad. Like the smoke is worse for other people, but it still affects where she is.
What is this blue thing there for? Different.
I've never seen that.
Oh, it's for fan funding.
When did that come up? Oh, Karen had showed me something about that was there now. I didn't know, I never enabled it, so I didn't really know what it was talking about. But the Titanic is one of those subjects that people find fascinating. And I'm always like, yes, Jocelyn, she was. I'm always like, no matter, it seems to like transcend generations. People are fascinated with it. And I'm like, and I can't ever figure out, like, because I am too. And so is, you are too, right?
Hold on. Yes, Josh, we're talking about the Canada fires. She said it's down in Boston.
Yeah.
What were you asking me?
Aren't you interested in the Titanic too? Not as
I
much
was, when you're interested in something and then you meet somebody that's super interested in something
Then
that
you
you're
realize you
kind
weren't
of interested in it. It's like pirates. She doesn't like pirates. The first time we were in North Carolina and I was
Pirates,
explaining,
not pirate. Don't go run tell her.
the actual pirates.
Oh, thank you.
And pirate does like pirates. So anyway, so in North Topsail Beach,
it's a banana clip.
it's the inlet there is where Blackbeard supposedly hid his treasure, was right there on the north end by where my condo was.
Yeah,
somewhere.
We know this.
And Mandy just didn't believe it. And she was like, that's all fake. And I was highly offended.
I said, isn't it a fake thing, though? It's not really. He goes, no, everyone knows that it's real. And I was like, well, we were standing by the condo. When we went in there for him to meet with his counsel for his divorce and to get the stuff out of his storage room, we got there late. And we looked, but nobody that we know was living at the condo. So don't think that they were. I just was like, saw the condo.
I did show her the condo
where everything. I saw, what was it?
Much lore.
Michelangelo's? Was that also?
Huh?
What was the pizza place called?
Shipwatch.
No, the pizza place.
Yeah, that was Michelangelo.
It was Michelangelo. Did we eat in there?
We did.
I thought we did.
We did go in there, yeah.
It was, and then we met with the attorney and.
But anyway, I was highly disturbed. I was highly not pissed off, but it was irritating and annoying that she was saying that she was dismissing the Blackbeard as if he was he was a mere legend or something like that, and it wasn't real.
I don't know a whole lot about pirates, so I don't really, but it was a thing for him. You guys, Jocelyn said she liked my hair. It's a banana clip. Do you guys remember from the 80s when banana clips were the thing? But in the 80s, you had to get your hair like real frizzy, and then you put it in so that it
poofed out.
And it would be like
in a Def Leppard video.
Like with curls. Yeah.
Like a Def Leppard video.
I was like, I found them at Walmart, and I was like, holy shit, they still exist. Come here. Come say hi. Look at him. So we were at a bath yesterday. I think we already showed him yesterday.
Do you want to say hi?
You want to come say hi?
Sawyer.
He's like, I'm going to come over that way.
I'm going to come over here. Let me come over here and talk to you guys.
Wearing the,
Come here. Come here, buddy.
She's so funny. Jocelyn said, Ed, hold on. I've been wearing those lately because my work crush told me I looked like a hot school teacher.
Who did?
Jocelyn's work crush. I love it.
So that's a good thing because she's already crushing
job.
On him, right?
Yeah.
So he said you look like a hot school teacher. Right?
And you were like, let me put glasses on, let me wear it. That's awesome.
Yep.
And then Stitching said the Edmund Fitzgerald, people only removed the bell off the boat. Meaning
the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Yeah. You know that song?
Well, I don't know the song, but was it because they disturbed it? Did they disturb it?
I didn't even know they found it. I didn't know.
Well, all they took, I guess, was the bell off.
They went down and took it?
I guess. I don't know. But a lot of people were saying with this thing that if they locate, like I'm gonna say the submersible, like they say on the news, the submarine or whatever, if they find it, like people, and they're like, well, it's 2.5 miles down to even lift it out. They have to have a certain amount of oxygen to even lift it up because it's 2.5 miles. And they were like, oh, they didn't want anyone else to take it. That makes sense. So, but they're like, people are like, well, then if they get down to them, they need to pull them out. And they were like, where? Well, they're bolted into it. And people are like, that is so dumb. And it's like, they can't pull them out anyway.
Right.
Like the
like they were going to go down to
crush them.
You're right. They're not going anywhere. You have to go down, retrieve it, and
they said the people that went down with it, I saw it on a special one time, that the people that were stuck in the ship that it went all the way down with it, they were crushed.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I mean,
it's crazy. Like,
I mean, it's like it puts you out of your misery. Like if you're somehow have some pocket of air or something, eventually there's just gone.
Right. And then you don't like,
and it's not like you sit it, you'll like, and it'll knock you unconscious.
That's what well, I think probably by that point I don't know. I guess no one will ever really know what it was like on the way down there, but they say that it's a combination of the fact that it was the maiden voyage. This is what makes it fascinating. The different people combination that was on it, everything from first class to, stowage or whatever. But the biggest factor is that it was the maiden voyage and it was said to be unsinkable.
Yeah.
And that's what makes people so interested in learning about it.
There's the Edmunds Fitzgerald right there. And it sank, but this was in
That's
like 19...
Davy Jones' locker?
No.
But what is Davy Jones' locker? I've heard
Davy Jones' locker is known as that's when you die in a boat, in a watery tomb.
Oh, okay.
But that's the Edmund Fitzgerald right there. It sunk in 1975, so it wasn't like 100 years ago.
And they just went and got the bell?
During a storm with the loss of the entire crew of 29 men.
It's the thin blue line. It's a flag with the thin blue line, the police support thing. Jocelyn likes your shirt.
Well, thank you.
Yes, he's got several like that.
They're a little small, so I don't wear them as much as I like. But I like
that
this style.
And it was the same brand, but some of them were smaller.
Right.
Than others.
So
it was really weird.
I found out that they came from China.
17 body. Okay.
So they all say extra large, but they're all different sizes.
They just
like I have one with
or whatever.
Like a spike cross right here, and I've got this is like
a Route
the red, white, and blue
one.
I got a Route 66.
He says I threw away all of his tie-dye, but I didn't. You don't.
I don't know where they are.
But you didn't even have it when you got to
Really?
me.
Maybe they're in the trophy case.
They're in the shrine.
They're in the shrine. They're right next to Clint's and John's. I hear every so often someone gets their treasure chest taken.
They all have a tub.
Yeah.
They all have a container. I don't think I have one.
All right, I'm going to Google Davy Jones' locker.
I'm wondering if that guy, Sean, I watched the thing today of the narcissist survivor.
Yeah.
He talked at length about the fact that he has no desire to go back to her.
I don't know.
So I wonder.
I don't know.
And I'm not making fun at all. I just think it's interesting. He's like, the narcissist isn't even human. They're not even human.
Davy Jones' locker is a metaphor for the oceanic abyss, the final resting place of drowned soldiers.
There you go.
And travelers.
And so, a SpongeBob. Yeah, that's where I had heard it. Davy Jones and SpongeBob.
Well, because that's down at the bottom.
But what was Davy Jones a character?
I think he was actually the guy that there's like a crazy pirate name.
Oh, and it's Davy. Okay.
Okay.
No, it's totally okay. I remember now, the ghost pirate. I remember my kids loved SpongeBob. I don't even know if they show it anymore. They kind of picked apart why it's not good for kids to watch. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, Squirmy and Grubs is still getting about 50,000 views.
They're doing IVF.
Yeah.
You know?
Whatever.
They are doing IVF. I heard it. Okay.
So anyway, what's our guy with the narcissistic relationship, Shane?
Mm-hmm. Today he was a little bit.
You sent me the video. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
It was interesting,
I'm
but
gonna watch some of it
he
tonight. and we're
definitely visited the fact that he would not ever, ever, ever go back to her. And I was
But
like,
he keeps saying it over and over and over and over.
It's
again.
been 6 months. He said that today.
6 months is
6
a
months.
good. That's good. I thought it would have been way earlier than 6 months because
Not
it's the way
6
he
months,
acts.
no contact, but they can't. They've got
6
kids.
months since they've cohabitated together, something like that.
Since the divorce started. Yeah, and
Well, buddy Shane, mine took about a year, about 9 months from the time it.
You filed
By the
in
time it got
December
filed,
of
yeah.
2019.
And it was finished.
Final in August of 2020. Yeah, so it wasn't quite a year.
It was about 8 months.
And they honored the separation date of, what was Dr. Phil? When y'all came back and she moved to Jacksonville.
That was, that would have been like October.
That's what he got the judge.
Well, no, that's when they aired it. So whatever that day was, it was.
But I mean, like.
It was in like August. It was something like August.
That was the date that went into the.
Into the docket as our last day.
And our attorney asked all the questions and then said, yeah, that's the separation date.
Yeah, he was really a lot.
That's why there was no point in fighting the separation date.
The thing I learned about attorneys was that we do all this YouTube stuff, but they really have a method that they have. They have to get creative, especially when you have the situation that I was in. He was, and I told him what we wanted. I told him what I wanted, and he figured out how to do that. And it was a godsend that after what was it?
We left feeling a lot better.
Right, we left. So he said, when was the last time? And I gave a date, and that was basically the time. I think he asked her when she got her lease or something like that.
He asked things like, okay, because you was like, I did stay at her place, but I wasn't on the lease and whatever. And he said, okay.
His bank accounts was a big
bank
thing.
accounts, and he was like, no. And
we hadn't she hadn't been on the bank account since like 2017.
Yeah, all of them were no, and he was like,
this is a slam dunk.
That's the separation date.
That's it.
So that was nice because we thought it was going to be a year from April the 16th, but it wasn't. Yeah. Sawyer's right here being a butthead. He won't come say hi. He said hello, and then he went and laid down because he's a high maintenance Shih Tzu.
He is.
He's sweet, but he is high maintenance. He's like, I'm so glad that he's eating this stuff. I was like, he's eating something that's in his stomach, which is why he's not eating. But he eats like
I came out, do you guys remember when you can look at my old vlogs where I had the rubber bracelets?
The awareness bands
awareness bands and stuff. I used to wear them all the time. Well, one by one, they kind of broke just for things. But I kept them and somewhere like over on my bookshelf. He ate one. He ate the band.
It fell on the floor.
And about 4 days later, he puked it up.
Mm-hmm. I was like, we're going to have to take him to the vet because when I finally saw a couple pieces left to the bracelet, I was like, that's what it was. And because it smelled like you. But you had had it on forever. That's why
But that would be the equivalent of like, because of his size, that's like the equivalent of eating half a pillow.
Yeah, that's why vets always say it's a waiting game because it's expensive to do the surgery. It's like they either pass it or they don't. And the bigger they are, the easier it is for them to pass. Just because bigger dogs.
But Shane Tuffin, I'm going to watch some of that tonight.
We dropped his link.
We dropped it last night. He's the one that's divorcing a narcissist, and he'd be perfect for the drama community because he is sort of controversial because he'll give you his story, but the more you watch him, the more you know there's more to it.
He would hit he'd be like, y'all are fucked up.
Yeah. Probably end up with,
I know.
But, but there's a kinship there for me. But man, he is strong tight.
Yeah. He is slowly getting some color back.
Yeah.
My dog, hold on. I can't. You're better at keeping it pulled up.
Here, let me see it.
It's pulled up, but I don't have the
This is why we're a team.
I know. It's doing way better than it did last time. My dog went hiding it. Don't see it after I. If you know what I mean, I saw it in her. I had to double check that things are on. Oh my gosh. Jocelyn,
Oh.
I've never heard of that, but I can imagine. I can imagine. I've heard there's something about bodily fluids like that I guess all animals are attracted to. And I don't even mean just like those kind of fluids. I just mean anything that smells like a person, especially a familiar person. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they like it's strange, but when we is there baseball tonight?
It's in a rain delay. I'm about to check.
Because
you read my mind. You see, sometimes
I
when
need
you're
to
with your
edit.
soulmate, and I'm pretty sure Mandy's mine. I mean, I'm pretty positive.
You're pretty sure?
You know, it's one of those. I talk about it at work a lot. Like a lot of people are single
Yeah.
or whatever, and they're like, "Oh my God," and this and that, and they know how much I adore you. They know.
Which is what I think they totally do. And that's why when I was sick, they were like, go, go. They were
Right.
all worried
They
about
know
you
that
and
I'm whatever. I fit in with that group. We're kind of a weirdo family. You got to be just a little bit weird, but they know that I always say, "What would Mandy do?" You know, and this and that. But I always tell them because there's one, two of the people that work directly in my cubicle. There's two people. One that's been single her whole life, one that is divorced and then her ex-husband passed away, and then a guy that's had two divorces, and they're all like whatever. And and it's like you never know. I was 50, and but you know you never know when it's going to happen. But when you know, you will know.
yeah.
You will know, and all the dumb shit, all the fighting, all the anguish, all the bull crap that keeps you away from relationships and keeps you from believing. You'll go through a little period of time where you thought that your exes were just such a waste of time when you meet the one. But then you're also you realize that your journey was supposed to happen so that you finally, whenever it is, when you're 30, 40, 50, whatever, you're finally cross paths with the one. And then when you fall, as you know, when you're complete and you're happy, and you don't have to do YouTube, you know, when you're completely happy, you can forgive the other people that you were in relationship with because they didn't waste your time. They didn't waste your time. They did what they were. You know, you were with them and coexisted and learned to bring you to the point when you met the one you're supposed to be with.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's not simple, but it is.
Hold on. I'm so glad that you two stay strong as a couple and for each other, especially when you have negative come against you. Thank you. Blessing you guys. Yes. Thank you so much.
I'm turning this off.
Is there still drama? You guys are literally not doing anything but soaking on your personal lives.
It's
Make
true.
it make sense.
But the thing about it is, who said Josh had to say that? That was Josh. It had to be. But we were so part of this fucked up drama community in our own roles that you got people that still, you know, they still do their channels, they still whatever, and we're still roll through the history every so often. So people are always going to take pot shots at us. They can say whatever they want, but what they've really stopped saying is that we're not going to last. There's only a couple people that say that.
They don't say that.
There's a bunch of people.
At first it was, you're never going to get divorced. Then it was, we're never going to get married. Then we're not going to last a year. Then it was, we're not going to.
The big thing is you're still on YouTube, and if you were happy, you'd ride off into the sunset together, and you wouldn't be on YouTube anymore, and you wouldn't still be here, which we did. We did that for a year, and then when we came back, you know, it wasn't quite the rage that it was before. But you just get sucked back towards the same drama.
Yeah. So
then you shut it down again, and you find yourself comfortable with your own crowd of people.
Yeah.
You really do.
You know, today, it was so cool. My son sent me a text, and he was like, I had a dream that you left Sean.
This was very cool.
Don't you do that. He's really good for you. And my son's not a big shower of emotions. And I said, no, there's no chance of that. We are perfect for each other. And, you know, and he said, I go, well, but what happened in the dream? He was like, you called me and told me you were leaving Sean, and I was so pissed off. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I said, well,
he's a wonderful young man.
No, we're pretty much riding this thing out, the love thing, until the end. You know what I mean?
Yep. We know our bumps in the road when we have them, and we have them.
I'm like,
but they're not like, when we get done, having an argument or we have a couple days where we're not as connected, it seems like such a waste of time then.
It
It's
is.
like,
And then especially if it's like your day off or something.
right.
Like that one time when
It
I was
always
at the
kind of
nail
happens
salon.
that way, yeah.
And it was almost, and I can't even remember whatever, but I went to the nail salon and I texted him, I was like, are we going to just spend all day being stupid? Like, cause like.
I typed in 2 words. What were they?
They were come home with the devil sign.
Well, yeah.
No, not the devil sign, the smiling devil
Yeah.
or whatever. And I told the nail lady, I was like, do the eyebrows, hurry up, I got to go. And she thought it was hilarious. I showed it to her and she goes, yeah, you better get home. It was really cool.
Yeah, we are who we are, and when we argue, and we're both pretty stubborn. And then, when we're done and we make up or whatever, it's like, let's not do that again.
And it's so dumb because we're so close that all one of us would have to do.
John
it's
says,
not very.
I
know. We don't do. All one would have to say is, let's not do this shit, and it would be done.
But it might
But
be.
neither one of us are willing
There's
to.
a finite amount of time before one of us
crosses into the silent treatment.
And it really, being disconnected from you is exhausting for me because I'm really no good. I'm really no good about it. I'm not
totally, functional. Yeah. I think that there's been 3 since we moved to Georgia that have been like, it's not even arguing. It's just, the royal silent treatment and it's dumb as fuck because you're in the same house together. Yeah. So you have to normally we grab each other's butts, we do whatever. But when you're trying to stand your ground and you pass each other and you're not doing all that, you almost have to excuse me. And then it's so stupid.
It's very stupid.
I'm like, we're way too old to be, that's like high school stuff.
It is, but we do. And it's I'll come home.
It's like, I'm going to walk you to class.
Well, I'll go to work. I'll go to work and then I'll come home and I'll walk in and you'll be like, whatever. And then she'll say whatever. And I go, well, I guess it's not going to be tonight. It's yeah. So what was the thing that I said?
When we were texting back and forth the other day, always this particular thing that when he doesn't get 2 days off because they try to push the envelope.
And it hurts your feelings.
Yeah. And so
it hurts your feelings when I'm on my day off and they call me and say, can you come in? And I go, yeah. And I go into work and when I do it initially, you're like, it's okay. I understand. And then the next day it festers until you tell me, fuck that. That hurt my feelings.
I had to look at why it bothered me. And why it bothered me is because then I was like, why don't you just tell them no? And he's like, there's other people. I don't want to let them down because there's other people that things are going to be substantially harder. And it's not their fault that this guy got fired or whatever. And then it occurred to me when I was trying to look at it, I was like, yeah, but what about time with me? And then you know how women are. They're like, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And then you've convinced yourself that is in fact the case because it crossed your mind and you're like, yeah, I could say that.
And then
let me see how that works.
And then we're doing this all through text.
And
I'm
normally
not a texter.
You won't argue text.
I don't. I give, because when we first met.
He's arguing through text.
She'd be arguing with me and I just don't say anything. And after about an hour, she's like, are you going to say anything? And I'm like, no. I'm not going to say anything.
When he was actually responding, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, and it made it worse, because for me, because then I'd say something like, and you'd be like, what? I'd finally type something too. Ooh, he typed it. I could tell she looked at it and went, what the fuck does that mean? And then she's still back in there again, and it's like, but then it was, so then after we were making up, we were still by text, and it was, she was like, look, I can't do this or whatever, blah, blah. And I say something, and then they said, all right, just come home. And, and you kind of know you're at the other side of it. You start to breathe a little bit and I'll type something in like, so is there a pretty good chance we're going to have sex tonight?
And I did, was like, yeah, there's a
pretty good chance.
Because eventually your pride is like, the two of you are like, okay, this is really, really silly. And it's a waste of time.
So I'm like, so is it a pretty good chance we're going to have sex? And she's like, laugh out loud. Yeah. And I'll type in, because about an hour ago, it seemed like a bridge too far.
It was funny. Yeah, you're right. Don't allow negative people to get exactly. And we don't, none of that ever bleeds. YouTube stuff is not a thing for us. It really isn't. Oh
man. We check each other too, because if something that gets said or whatever, and one of us starts to get upset, the other one's right there going, don't do that. It's no different than anything else that people,
Right.
nobody is going to show up on your front porch.
Well, they
And
have,
I've even had that.
but-
I've had that happen too. It's like, nobody can shake us. You know, nobody's going to shake us.
I remember one time, and I think it was in the Jacksonville apartment. You were there. She was live, and you were somewhere in there. And someone knocked on the door, and but I don't think y'all thought it was the police. They called whatever, and so she's flipping out, going, "I can't fucking." And you're like, "Why?" And y'all opened it, and it was like someone doing a fundraiser selling wrapping paper. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
Scared
but that
the hell.
Well, just when we were in Texas. Remember when we were in Texas,
yeah.
that someone would
I remember that.
would ring the doorbell, and I'd be like.
You're like, they're just selling wrapping paper for a
it's
fundraiser.
Not. It's just somebody like doing the census or something. The doorbell would ring, and I'd be like, "Oh
They'll
my God!"
They'll give you money for the census.
Yeah, we figured that out too.
They'll send.
Well, then there was one time when someone knocked on the door, and it was the constable. You know.
Yeah, but did you know that if you don't send your census thing back, or they do a random thing, and they come to your door with their little badge and stuff, and want to ask their census questions, you have to do the census. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, you don't have, and he was nice, but he was like, yeah, I've got a list of people that didn't return them, and I'm like, or did return them, but he follows something.
He was good for his job because he wasn't somebody, like if somebody knocks on the door and they go, you have to do this, you're going to be like, fuck you, and slam the door, you know? But he was basically very logical and said, well, I kind of need you to do this.
Well, and
blah, blah, blah.
I said, we'll do it. And then he expressed why but when he knocked, and it was like, we looked through the people, and he's holding he's
holding like a paperwork.
It's a name badge.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But I'm like,
oh, God damn
who
it.
could that be? I'm like thinking, it can't be CPS. We have no one here. But then he didn't. They asked like crazy questions, like, and it was funny because they're like, have either of you been divorced in the last whatever? And it was like, we got into
both of us.
It was interesting because he was like, okay, and it was like,
he was interested by the time he got done with us.
Because it was so like crazy how it was like, well, I am, he's not, but he will be. And it was interesting. He was very like,
the tax people had fun with us too, because when we did the taxes and with COVID, see, we got married during COVID, so taxes were all screwed up anyway.
Mandi quoted 20. Yeah, I got
so I've got my tax thing comes, Mandy's tax things comes, because they think she's still, got a different name, and then we filed jointly, and they're still trying to do the COVID stuff. We ended up getting some money, but now we. But
that was what was so strange, because they were sending the stimuluses out based on married couple or not.
Right.
We weren't married. I had just gotten divorced.
Right.
And when he got divorced, he was like, well, if $1,200 went to the other one, she ain't giving me shit.
Right. Exactly.
And so, but
she's not going to come find me. Yeah. I think about 2 years later, I think it all came out in the wash what we were supposed to get. Stimuli.
And someone put a joke on Twitter, like when they first started talking about it, and they said, I got my stimulus, oh my God, it hit my account. And they did a Wells Fargo screenshot, remember that? Mm-hmm. And it had
this is funny,
it showed the deposit and whatever, but one of the charges was like Pornhub membership.
So it got you to look at their bank account, which is interesting.
But it wasn't
so they were
really
like, stimulus
it was a joke.
check,
Pornhub,
freaking analangels.com, all these subscriptions to different things, but
it looked real.
Chris, one of my brothers sent that.
But it was funny because I'm grabbing the phone, going, people are already he better give me my half, and I'm like, you're like, no, look at it. I was like, oh,
it's a joke.
Okay,
it's a joke.
I see. We did literally everything. Just the other day, I got a check. We had our $16 got sent by Open Door. That's where we sold our house. Was Open Door, and 4
years later,
they're $16 over, and it was like he sent it. He sent me my half.
he sent. It's true. Got to give him that.
I was like, "There's my half."
Mm-hmm.
You ready to go 9-9?
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's.
Because if we
I
put-
think between the Angels and the Dodgers are coming on,
And if
and
we put
Shane's got some videos.
if we put Scout to bed, Eleanor won't be in a hurry to get out.
Ellie.
That cat, we got a home for the cat that's hanging around outside.
Let's see if Ellie will.
She's gonna know, but the second you start walking with her, she'll want to get down.
Will she? Come here, Ellie.
You can try.
Come here, Ellie.
This is
You guys seen our calico? You guys seen her?
This is the one that was a kitten when we lived in the basement apartment. Just look at her. She's like,
You want me to pick you up?
she might let you.
Pick you up?
Usually when you start walking, she starts panicking, thinking she's out of control. She's so pretty. There she is. This is our indoor-outdoor one. Say hi, Ellie. She's so
like,
cute.
what in the hell?
She's
This
so
is
cute.
Eleanor.
She's a little bitty, but she's full grown. She she's so sweet. She's the only one that's allowed to go outside. But tonight looks like she's in for the evening.
Yeah, it's nice out there. When I was putting the birds away, and it's cool out. It's probably 60 degrees out, and
Maybe it's going to be a better summer.
Last
year it was
well, it's been so
hot.
rainy. It's been so rainy and yucky.
I'll take the rain if it that blazing heat.
Nah, this was so. It looks like the cloud cover is moving out, and everything's wet. Just everything's cool. It was nice putting them up.
Well, there you go. So we'll watch baseball.
We'll watch some baseball.
And tomorrow's Thursday. Oh, tomorrow's Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah.
She likes the rain. And so we'll do the tomorrow evening. We usually do the one after that. So the original plan was on Thursdays. I was going to go live on my channel at 1, then Paula at 4:30, and then
Yours was doing good. I duck in from work, and I thought Mandi, when she started doing her lives, her afternoon lives on her ATX channel, I thought they were good. I think you were there for it. There's an audience of people that are at home for whatever reason at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I had fun doing it.
Yeah.
I did have fun doing it. I just felt weird when it's not you and I together, not because I'm a kept woman or anything. It just now feels weird. Oh, thank you, Jocelyn. It just feels weird now when I do it and I don't have you. But I'll give it a try.
Joss, Annalie, thank you for the super chats.
Yes.
They never get taken
Dee
for granted.
And Margaret.
Thank you, Dee and Margaret, for their donations. You guys rock, man.
I'm gonna get Tiny's peanuts. I buy the big thing of generic peanuts from Walmart. Mm-hmm. Tiny lets the hens eat everything.
Is that thunder again?
No, we live in the South. It sounds like rifle fire.
So another thing that happens when the storm clears is the rednecks come out and they go hunting for whatever
but
moves.
It's like
right out there. It's almost like living in the city. Though.
I'm like, what the hell are they shooting?
When people are living in the city and there's sirens and gunfire, it's kind of like that. It's just rednecks shooting shotguns.
Thank you, Sooner Girl. I probably will. I enjoy doing it. Just keeping it lighthearted and fun, and you never know what crazy shit I'll come up with.
It's
to
right,
discuss.
Sooner Girl. She is, and I mean, I think she's. If I was home more during the week and I had free time, I would watch the people that are live. I would watch Tragic. I would watch AK. I would watch them. I'm just not. Yeah. I'm just not there. So I'm taking care of my bougie wife.
Exactly.
Right? That's right.
They'll be like, you can't be bougie in a trailer.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. It's a triple wide.
It's triple wide.
Do you hear that?
It is, yeah. They're out shooting.
Your dad would be like freaking out. Okay. Yeah. Y'all have a good night.
Good night, y'all.
Thank you guys. Bye. Hold on. I need to get it.